It's May 2nd, 2014. We're in Portland, Oregon for Game 6 of an unbelievably tight first-round playoff series between the Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets. The Blazers have 9/10 of a second to try to overcome a 2-point deficit and win the series. If the Rockets get a stop, they'll host Game 7 in Houston. Before we witness this moment, let's examine the history in this building, the feelings of these fans, the compelling characters occupying the floor, and the way they've been deployed for this crucial play. Let's rewind. After falling behind early, Houston has made this a 3-2 series, on the verge of a tie. Each team has enjoyed a comfortable victory, but we've seen some true nail-biters, including the critical Game 3 Houston stole thanks to this deep game winner from little-used Troy Daniels.
Daniels for three! It's good!
The Rockets now hope to become one of the few teams ever to recover from a 3-1 series deficit, just like they did en route to the 1995 title. Yet another series reaching 7 games would bolster what already promises to be an amazing weekend of do-or-die basketball. Exactly what the NBA community needs to wash away the sour taste of this hideous Donald Sterling scandal in Los Angeles. Anyway, the Blazers want to watch Game 7 this weekend, not play one. A 2-pointer buys them overtime. With a 3, they'll advance immediately. The fans in this building could not be more on edge because it's been a while. Portland was accustomed to contending. The franchise won a championship within its first decade of existence in 1977 under legendary coach Dr. Jack Ramsey. Portland's deepest playoff runs of the 80s crashed into the Magic and Kareem Lakers, but they made 2 finals appearances in the early 90s. In 2000, the Blazers came tantalizingly close to beating the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, only to fall in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. In short, every prior generation of Blazers fan got to see teams at least approach winning it all. Hearts got broke, sure, but heartbreak first requires legitimate hope. That hope has diminished in recent years. The Trailblazers have not won a playoff series since that conference final run in 2000. 13 straight seasons without clearing the first round is the longest such drought in the NBA. Pretty wild. So that would be a big hump to overcome, and it would be poetic to do it this week. Just days ago, the iconic Jack Ramsey passed away. Coach Ramsey was a beloved part of the NBA community for many years after he led those champion Blazers. These jersey patches are the Blazers' tribute to the late Dr. Jack. Ending the drought would be another lovely tribute. But you're looking at a whole crowd of hearts and stomachs. Barring a miracle, this series is headed back to Houston, and the Rockets would take a lot of momentum with them. That's the kind of progress they expected when they added this guy. This guy needed help. The middling Rockets made a seismic trade for megastar James Harden in 2012, and his talent alone was enough to carry a postseason return. But that was all. Harden's old friends in Oklahoma City booted Houston out of the 2013 playoffs in 6 games. That'll happen when your supporting cast is this bunch of solid but clearly secondary players. Harden needed a co-star. And this past summer, Houston GM Daryl Morey got him one. All-star big man Dwight Howard was ready for a move after just one pathetic, cantankerous season as an LA Laker. He and Kobe Bryant never clicked, not even close. Settling into Houston took some time, but under coach Kevin McHale, Season 1 of Harden and Howard looked like a much better pairing. The Rockets' improvement included getting Dwight the ball more, involving him more often and closer to the rim to create easy baskets, to create space for shooters, to create one of the league's top offenses. And it's a good thing Dwight found his scoring, because in this series, Harden hasn't been able to hit the broadside of a barn. Dr. Beardface has connected on just 38% of his field goals, including sub 30% beyond the arc. Houston fell behind 3-1 in this series thanks in part to some true Harden stinkers. The Rockets took Game 5 and extended the series into tonight because Harden deferred. Howard anchored the defense and led his team in scoring. Chandler Parsons made some threes, and Jeremy Lin dropped 21 points off the bench to compensate for a critical Game 4 turnover. Tonight, Game 6 marks Harden's first efficient offensive performance of the series. But most of his points came early on. Until moments ago, crunch time was all Dwight. Howard's huge run-stopping block on Thomas Robinson set up Harden's only basket of this fourth quarter. After that, it was Dwight pump-faking to score over 3 Blazers. It was Dwight losing Robin Lopez to do it again. It was Dwight spinning left against Lopez to draw a foul and sink both free throws. It was Dwight again overpowering Lopez and again cashing in from the line. Howard was the target for this post-timeout lob and made the tough lefty finish. Howard snatched a loose ball and blasted through a crowd for 2 and the foul. Houston would be long dead if Dwight didn't score 26 points tonight, including 13 of the team's 19 in the fourth. He dropped those 13 all in a row, with just 2 of his typical missed free throws in between. But while Dwight kept Houston in it, we got all the way to right now with some other characters. If these 9/10 of a second go well, Chandler Parsons will be a hero. He capped off a solid, transition-heavy, high-rebound game with one of the biggest putbacks of his life. Harden missed a tough fadeaway, and a mad scramble for the rebound somehow ended with Parsons in possession, noodling in a last-second reverse. But rewind further, because we shouldn't neglect that Houston only needed heroics because of an unforced error. Lin's banked-in 3 with under a minute to go would have all but iced the Houston victory, except big guy Omer Asik committed this foolish offensive foul to negate it. That was Asik's 6th disqualifying foul, so he's not out here. Blazers ball, less than a second to go, 2-point game, and Houston's missing a starting big man. Relevant because it looks like the first option for this buzzer beater is big Blazers star LaMarcus Aldridge. He's been the guy in Portland for almost a decade now, but this wasn't supposed to be a the guy situation. After some years in the basement, Portland began a turnaround on draft night 2006. They swung superb trades to form their big-small tandem of the future. Aldridge from Texas and Washington's Brandon Roy. Roy, the merciless scoring guard, won Rookie of the Year in 2007 and quickly became an all-star. Aldridge improved gradually to become one of the league's steadiest young bigs. In 2008-09, the third season of the pairing, the Blazers turned a corner. An early signature moment came in November 2008 on the same floor in a similar situation against the same opponent as tonight. On an inbound play with less than a second to go, Coach Nate McMillan had Roy flash toward the inbounder to catch and fire this deep, buzzer-beating 3 for the win.
Here's Blake to Roy. This is for the win.
Portland rode that high to 54 wins, but fell short in a 2009 first-round series against those same Rockets. Even with first-round defeat, 2009 looked like a step toward contention, toward ending the drought. It instead marked high water. Roy's knees deteriorated. His diminishing availability consigned the Blazers to more first-round doom. It led Roy to an early, heartbreaking retirement in 2011. Roy's premature farewell and the equally sad misadventures of Greg Oden left Aldridge as the lone star on a bad team. And Aldridge really has become a force. That losing 2012 season began a streak of all-star appearances for Aldridge that's still going. In this very series, he's posted some all-time great performances, especially in those first 2 road wins. In Game 1, 46 points and 18 rebounds. In Game 2, 43 points on just 28 attempts. When this dude settles into his sweet spot, he is unstoppable. And if you had any doubt where that sweet spot was, tonight gave you a reminder. Aldridge has towered over the left wing like a sentinel, destroying all defenders in his path, mostly Omer Asik. He bodied Asik for this early bucket, kind of forearm shivered Asik for another one. He got Asik in early foul trouble with a quick one, then a quick 2. Asik returned to guard Aldridge in the second quarter, but good luck stopping this mid-range magic. Get too close, and that's your third foul.
Yeah, got the foul. Oh! Aldridge again!
And you can have a third foul too, Dwight. Aldridge cooled a bit in the second half, But this ESPN graphic in the third quarter hammered home the place you absolutely do not want to let LaMarcus operate. Right around here. Aldridge alone on the strong side, which happens to be his office, is an important assignment. The Rockets, thankfully, planned around that before it was too late. When the teams first set up for this play, Coach McHale had Howard pestering the inbounder, Nicola Batum. With Ashik fouled out, that left Harden assigned to the much, much taller Aldridge. Parsons got a look at that and said, hold up, no, and called timeout. Fast forward to right now, and you've got more sensible assignments. The tallish Terrence Jones is in the game to cover the inbound. Aldridge is guarded more appropriately by Howard, and Dwight's using his strength to make this pass difficult. Which makes one wonder what's going on over here. This is Damian Lillard, who at first looked all casual with his head cocked and his shoulders slumped until the whistle blew and So yeah, when the Blazers truly fell apart in 2012, they got a lottery pick. They weren't bad enough to have much chance of snagging a sure thing like Anthony Davis, and with the 6th pick, drafted an upperclassman from a school most people haven't heard of. Damian Lillard got very little hype as a high school prospect. That's how an Oakland kid ended up playing point guard for Weber State University. Even in Ogden, Utah, Lillard bloomed into the national spotlight. In his redshirt junior season, Lillard put up truly obscene scoring numbers. The deadliest point guard in the nation was a Weber State Wildcat. And lest anyone attribute Lillard's college excellence to inferior competition, Dame shredded like a buzzsaw through his first NBA season. Over Davis, over Bradley Beal, over Andre Drummond, Lillard was unanimous 2013 Rookie of the Year. Here in year 2, the 23-year-old joined Aldridge on the All-Star team and helped get the Blazers back here into the postseason. Portland will never forget Aldridge's original co-star, who once chucked a dagger through these Rockets from right about here. But Aldridge has a new buddy, and said new buddy has already delivered in the clutch. Aldridge's mighty Game 1 performance almost went for naught when he fouled out with a minute to go in overtime. But Lillard fought off Patrick Beverley's great defense for an and one to take the lead, then buried 2 more steely ones to give Portland the edge in the final seconds. Lillard has averaged over 25 points per game in his first playoff series, including noble efforts when Aldridge faltered in the 2 losses. Damian Lillard is scary, which makes this interesting. On take 2 of this final play, Parsons started guarding Mo Williams, but it appears Harden recommended a switch between Parsons and Beverley, Houston's best backcourt defender. Parsons was the hero on offense, now he's assumed the task of catching a man who just morphed into a blur. If he and the Rockets can get a stop, they draw this super close series even closer, adding another Game 7 to this weekend. They'll play at home for a chance to complete a rare 3-game comeback. They'll owe a lot of that comeback to Dwight Howard, James Harden's new co-star, who's kept this team alive during some barren stretches from their top scorer. Howard has taken over guarding the top Portland scorer, but Aldridge too has a relatively new co-star, and that once obscure prospect is now speeding around screens for one shot at glory. One shot to end a playoff drought unbecoming of a once great franchise. Let's see what happens. Welcome to a moment in history.
He wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! Good! And the Blazers win the series for the first time in 14 years!
Thanks a lot for watching Rewinder. If you're a Blazers fan, I think you might be interested in this beef history, although you probably wouldn't enjoy this Rewinder, which might be more informative for non-Blazers fans. Thanks for watching.